So, this used to be part of our cotton industry. This was a warehouse. So the offices would have been in the front, obviously the warehouse in the back. So the last person who had it as a cotton warehouse was George Poirier. George inherited the business from his dad, clueless on what he was doing. Got himself a bunch of debt, blew through his inheritance, and had to get out of the business. We also had the boll weevil in town, which is a bug that eats cotton. So now he's really up shit creek. And he decides he's going to sell all his cotton to the British. So again, peninsula, much skinnier, water's closer. He's watching everything from the second story floor. Your online stories will tell you third story. However, all of my data says second. And it's been numerous times. So anyway, he's watching everything. They unload all the cotton back here by horse and buggy from the garages that you see. It goes out to the ship. Once it's all loaded, somebody gets too close with a pipe. The whole ship catches fire. Everybody dies. George watches the whole thing from second story. Now, here's the kicker. George was already depressed. He was having all kinds of mental problems. His dad's gone. Now his father's legacy is gone. So what's he do? Piles up all the furniture, captain's chair on top. I have to put that captain's chair on there or else he'll remind me. He does it every time I forget. He'll put the word chair. I swear.
To remind me.
To remind me. It's hysterical. Swings a noose and he hangs himself. As I said, you can see the shadow of a swinging corpse from the second story window. We don't have anything other than that camera to be able to prove that. But if we see a shadow, what can we do besides prove it with a thermal imaging camera? But it can't see through glass, right? We're looking for one of those blue windows to turn a darker blue or black to be influenced by what's inside the building. Does that make sense now? So when we get to the very front, you can't see it from here. Everybody's looking like, how do we do this?
Yeah, you never know.
So when we get to the front, we're going to get a nice slow sweep from the thermal imaging camera. And at times, and I can't explain it, tonight's a little breezy, so it actually, you could probably explain it tonight. There's a peak in the front, just like here in the back, and it's covered in a stone. There's also the same type of stone inlaid into the brick about 5 to 6 feet below that. At times, it will be up to a 30-degree difference. And it's usually when I have a lot of activity on the spirit boxes and or my word list. Good thing that dog got let out a little bit later. It's a pretty big poop. Scares the shit out of me every time I walk by. And I love dogs. So at any rate, tonight's a little breezy. I don't know that I want to do that experiment because it's really going to be redundant because it's going to be way colder up there. 7 to 12 degrees, I can kind of see the breeze coming in off the water. But tonight, with it being as little breezy as it is, it's probably going to be at least 18 to 22 degrees. But again, I've seen it go all the way up to 30, and that's pretty much unexplainable, especially when there's no breeze happening on a nice warm night. So maybe we'll test it based on whatever we hear on our spirit boxes along the way. We usually get a tag along those for this location because it was the same time period. Where we came out of Philadelphia Alley, 2 blocks up is Poogan's Porch. So some of you may have eaten there before. Zoe haunts that place. It used to be her house. Her name was Zoe Saint Amand. She was of French descent, and she died by falling down the stairs. She lived there with her sister Elizabeth. So I'm giving you clues of things to listen for. You never know who I'm going to get when I'm looking at this place. Sometimes I don't get either one of them, but sometimes I get both. Poogan was a dog. Poogan was a stray dog, like a neighborhood dog, that the construction crew that was converting it into a restaurant used to feed. Apparently they made a memorial for him on site, and then the new owners decided to keep the name and call it Poogan's Porch. So you're going to see Poogans all over the place. We got Poogan's Courtyard now, and I think there's a Poogan's Barbecue.
Poogan's Smokehouse, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a couple Poogans, but that's the original. So if you go eat there, you'll see a little memorial to Poogan out there on the side before you walk into the restaurant. Zoe can be seen in the ladies' restroom mirror. And Poogan will pull on your pant legs if you're eating there, wearing pants. So, obviously, Poogan is not coming through. Okay? We're not looking for the dog. Don't get excited. So, we're looking for those very simple things. Restaurant is 3 syllables. I don't always hear it, so sometimes she'll say spoon, fork, eat, table, food. Very simple 1 to 2 syllable words. So that's what we're really listening for. How do I know it's Zoe specifically? Zoe spells her name Z-O-E. That's E-Y. About twice a month, I get the name Zoe when I'm near this building. Makes complete sense because this was the same time period as George that I told you about with the cotton warehouse. So it makes complete sense. So we're listening for things like fire, ship, cotton, and like hum would be a good word that we would actually listen for. So again, when we're listening to our spirit boxes, it's going to be alongside of the building. If it's busy up there, it's going to be hard to hear your spirit boxes. I mean, yours is pretty loud. But we're going to get a nice slow sweep from you on the windows and a couple of pictures from you on that end. Lasers, we're out of the game. So sorry about that. EMF is going to go crazy on East Bay Street just from the parking meter, so don't get excited. If you get something along the way, It might be just from the build.
Okay.
Unless it's really really strong red spike,
Yeah.
I'm really not going to pay much attention.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
We're going to cross legally twice, so let's go straight.
He said that so when we did this here before, remember I brought up, didn't someone hang themselves in here? And he said no. And I was like, no, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I was like, I've heard that story from many people, even outside of this story.
Yeah, I do recall
But I thought it
that.
was a fake story.
Was he a good boy? Was he the best boy? Was he the bestest boy in the whole stinking world?
Probably. He probably deserves some belly rub.
Yeah. I wish you would bite me on my legs. That can be the biggest human ghost kiss in the world.
Woo! We'll see our boy Jason. Jason, let me holler at you.
I forgot the last thing.
Yeah, I wasn't.
We went to Pokemon.
Still having fun.
This is the one with the movie that's $500 for the Edgar Allan Poe room.
Oh, Jesus.
Their actual story is
Oh, the one above there?
yeah, the first one's in Pokemon.
That's it. Right there. Yeah, it's an outside walking. No problem. I'll be there shortly. Yes, like it's chilly out here. All right, so did we get a nice?
I stepped across the street and got these two. Because
Okay.
she said she thinks that's where it was supposed to be.
No.
So
I've
the
heard different rumors. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so the original story is that you were correct on everything, but he actually hung himself from the 3rd floor in that window. And this
All-
is like
so I do.
way when I was like little.
So
That
the
was the
third story is what all of your online stuff and even the stuff I found in books at third story.
Yeah.
But every time I ask and I get answers, everything revolves around the number 2.
Yeah.
So I usually tell people, get me a nice slow sweep across all of the second story floor, but if you're confirmed on this corner, like this rounded edge, I'll kind of maybe focus on it.
When they got rid of it, yeah.
Yep. So good luck to those wedding people.
Yeah, right.
Sure, it's going to be cursed from the start. So, all right. Did we get some pictures? Okay, good deal. All right. So I'm actually going to start collecting gadgets.